We'll be taking every action legal to be able to protect our rights, because we think this is blatantly unfair. We have a regulator who is clearly hostile towards the three media houses. We don't understand why. But also, as citizens of this country who pay their taxes, we don't think we should be treated as shabbily as we are being treated today by our regulator. We have been paying taxes for the last 15 years. These guys just came the other day, and yet they are being favored by our own regulator. It is not fair. It's not fair. It's also not fair for you. You build your business for 15 years. You put your own infrastructure, and then the regulator comes and says, now all that business that you do, take it to this guy so that he can carry you and you pay him money. Where on earth do you have this kind of thing? This country, where else in this country or anywhere else in the world do you find a foreign company coming and being given close to 60% of all the frequencies in the country, which is a public resource? Where? How can the CAK even justify giving a Chinese company 60% of all the frequencies in Kenya today and deny us? We who have been here giving you the kind of things that we give you here for the last 15 years. How? If you went to China, you think you would get that kind of license? If you went to America, you think you would get. Why is it only in Kenya that we find those kind of things? When you have a regulator with this kind of mindset, we have a big problem in this country. This is a regulator where, because we are arguing with two foreign-owned paid television stations, the guy decides at the stroke of the pen to decide that he's going to write off our investment of 40 billion shillings. It doesn't give a damn. This is also a regulator who is saying that all the money we have now committed to import this set of boxes, to import the transmitters, to import the antenna, to import all the other things that are needed to set up the digital migration infrastructure, can go to waste. Why? Because you guys are fighting with two foreign-owned TV companies. And this guy is on the side of the foreigner. And we are locals. It really defies reason. And then, therefore, he says, you guys, go home, because that is what this letter is saying. It means that you guys go home tomorrow.
We are saying that since the enactment of the draconian media laws in 2013 December, we are seeing the authoring of Chapter 2 of Digital Tyranny and Dictatorship. By withdrawing licenses of these popular TV stations that control 70% of the viewership, we are sending a very wrong signal for the industry. One, at least 600 journalists are going to lose their jobs, including those technical support staff who keep those stations alive. Two, we are going to deny Kenyans access to information. And three, we are going to deny Kenyans, the very Kenyans who pay taxes, a platform in which they can express their views on how they are being governed. But we are saying here, we are prepared for the long haul. Nobody is going to work or wish away the work of the journalists who take time and risk their lives to go to Capedo to get content and air the same content without compensating journalists. It's totally unacceptable, and we are prepared to go up to Paris in the Intellectual Property Code to defend our rights.
We would have wished for more honesty from the Communications Authority of Kenya. The CAK has done a major disservice to this country by emerging not as an independent arbitrator, but as a partisan defender of special interests. We would like them to come out in the open and tell us, what is this major thing about Star Times Pan-African Group that they have defended so well, I must say? What is this major interest about GoTV that they have defended so viciously? We feel let down as Kenyans and as investors in this sector that after 15 years of solid investments and service to this country, CAK turns up to defend special interests at our cost. For the last 1 year, we've been trying to reason with the CAK and the Ministry of Information. We've been trying to have a very reasonable conversation about the digital migration as stakeholders in this industry. but it has not been producing results. The CAK has had a predetermined position, and that position is to force the mainstream Kenyan media to be carried, or the signal of the mainstream Kenyan media to be distributed by one of two companies, either Signet, an affiliate of KBC and therefore government, or PANG, Pan-African Group, which is a Chinese group that also runs Star Times. As media, we come from a very independent background, a background that values freedom of the press, a background that values press freedom. And we are saying there is nothing in our DNA that would allow us to be carried by either of those two channels.